Here we have the Upzone pop-up terrain system by Everything Epic. Now this is an amazing board, and as you can see, we've tested it out and put just about every type of model you can think of for 40K on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through how to set this up and just the different kind of displays and models that you can put on this board. Okay, so we'll start with the box here, and this is the Cathedral Zone. It looks really cool. First of all, I honestly, for pop-up terrain, this looks incredible. It looks better than a lot of, homemade do-it-yourself terrain does. I love how it has the map here laid out, so you can see how to lay it out. If you want to, switch it up, you can. They're definitely versatile in that way, but it has kind of their map of what it could look like. There's another one here on this side. Now, something I really liked was that it shows you, what you're getting exactly. 8 terrain features, so you have all these different terrains that, are this size, and then the 2 longer ones with the crates. Altogether, when you mesh them, they make the 60x44 battlefield, which is the 9th edition 40K board. So this is perfect for 40K. It works for other war games as well, or other miniature type games you want to play with, but for 40K, it's perfect, which is one of the reasons we had to give these guys a shout out and review it. So as you can see, we laid it out here, and you're about to see me unpack this box and just how fast and easy this was. As you can see, these boards set up super fast and easy. You can literally set up on a table and be ready to play within 5 minutes. Now, some may think that because these are pop-up terrain pieces, they're weak or they can't hold models, but we actually put them to the test to see how strong they really are. Now, there's something to note about setting these up, and that's the small flaps that latch as you put them together. You can really tell that they thought out the engineering for this and made sure that they could be sturdy and stand up to different things, which we did test, and I'll show you here in a second. Now, the convenience for these speak for themselves. You can see just how fast and convenient it is that the terrain just pops up as you open and set up these boards. I love how these pieces have their own unique shape, and they just form perfectly as soon as you open the board. Another really cool thing to note about these is they open and close and stay intact several times. We've opened these boards various times to set them up and test them, and every time they open just like new. It's really impressive just how durable they are. With that said, they're also really strong against wild and uncoordinated hands. We've all dealt with that guy who has no coordination, and every time he goes to move his models, moves the terrain along with them. But I actually tested these out as I moved some models, and they don't budge. It's actually kind of a bonus because if you push really hard on these, you end up moving the whole mat. So you can recognize if someone is really pushing against the terrain. This eliminates the whole needing to set up and, get back to where you were if the terrain does get moved. We've all dealt with that in a game where, maybe a piece of terrain gets moved and you got to figure out where it was, especially if there's an objective nearby. There's a lot of things that could go wrong, but with these, they eliminate all of that. Now, along with holding up against clumsy humans, they also support heavy models. We tested different types of models to go on this terrain. Things like lightweight Necron warriors, to bigger size character models, all the way to heavy Forge World flyers, like the Fire Raptor that you see here. Another good thing about these is the shapes that they provide for tactical play. The placement of this terrain and the shape that they take makes tactical play really fun and really easy. Whether you're running some Astartes with chain swords, a ton of warriors, a big chaos army, or even some massive Forge World models, there's plenty of terrain and space to have tactical play in here. Now, one of my favorite things about these is they're just as easy to pack up as they were to set up. When you're all finished with your game, all you have to do is unlatch the pin and fold them up, and it's that easy. As someone who plays games regularly and runs games regularly, I'm seriously shocked at how fast and convenient it was for me to pack these things up. Now, there are a couple of cons that came with this. The one obvious one is that there's only one piece of terrain per mat. Now, there is an easy fix for this, and that's just that I put, small pieces around the bigger pieces, which is fine for me here at a game store or even at home because I have terrain there. But if you're someone who's looking to get these for, convenient mobile transport or because you don't want to have to store other terrain pieces, that's going to be a bit of an issue. Another con to this is that the terrain is where it is. You can't move it around. And you can't, place it in different areas. You can shift the boards around, which means you can, make the board more versatile, but in terms of moving the terrain and putting the terrain in different places, they are where they are. Now, that's totally fine if you're playing this at a game store or you're taking it on the move and you just want to play somewhere, fast and mobile and easy. That's totally fine. After you get through your 100th home game with the same army, you may want to switch up where your terrain placement is. Which, for the record, if you can get 100 games out of this, which I honestly think you can pretty easily, this thing is already worth its value. My overall review for the Upzone pop-up terrain is 4 out of 5. It's everything you could want as far as sturdy, mobile, and honestly, it looks really cool too. I would recommend these to anyone that, doesn't play regularly at home. They play at their local game store, or they're just playing at the library or on the go wherever they go, and definitely recommend these for stores to stock and keep for their tournaments or, games at the store. This is also perfect for someone who lives in a small space and may not quite have, the proper storage to keep a map full of different terrains. One thing's for certain, and that's that I think we can all expect to see these pop up around the tournament scene more and more. If you want to learn more about these and how to get them, then click the link below and check out their Kickstarter.